All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. October 8th, we got a couple MLB playoff baseball games to jump into in today's video. Like we always do, we're gonna go through each and every game, so all two of them. I'm gonna give you my lean or leans on the games, but all my final plays, so what I'm actually rolling with myself, those will be in the pinned comment if you do want to fade my picks. And you know those nights where you just see the board clearly, everything seems easy? Last night was not one of those nights. 1 and 3. The only play that came through for us was the heaviest juice play that we had, and it was the Astros on the money line. Yikes. So we look to be a little bit better today. Not a great start to this round of the playoffs here, going 1 and 3. Before we do get into the games, guys, I want to ask you, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well, and go ahead and check out Sleeper if you have not done it yet. You need to go check it out. They're dropping a bunch of discount squares over in the NFL as well. If you don't know what Sleeper is, you compare 2 to 8 player props, and the more you win in your slip, the more money you obviously win, and you can get 100% of your first deposit matched if you use the link in the pinned comment. You could put in 25 bucks and Sleeper's gonna go, all right, here's 25 more. You'll have a new account balance, double that, 50, or you could put in 100 bucks and they're gonna give you 100 bucks and you'll have a new account balance of 200. Go check it out, guys. I've been loving Sleeper, my favorite pick'em app out there right now. That link is in the pinned comment. So let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 here. We have Baltimore taking on Texas. Yesterday's game, Texas ultimately prevails 3-2. They had the lead pretty much the whole game, so played better baseball yesterday. Today, Baltimore sitting as -115 favorites at home. I think it's moved to 120 on most books here. Texas at +102, at least according to FanDuel. Baltimore obviously is a team that we liked yesterday, and it did not come through. I do think that this is a bounce back spot for them. They're going up against Jordan Montgomery, who has been really nails for Texas as of late. Last 5 starts for the guy, 0.4 ERA. He's only let up 2 runs in his last 5 starts. I want to give the credit to him there, but I don't necessarily envision Texas going up 2-0 in this series. So I am going to go ahead and lean towards Baltimore here. Does it scare me that Montgomery's been shoving? Yes, a little bit, but I don't think that Baltimore's going to go and score 2 runs again. They are due. Last 3 games here, 5 runs, 1 run, and 2 runs. If you look at it from the last 4, they scored 0 runs against the Red Sox in one of their closing games too. So they have a log jam of offense right now. I do think that they're due to have a 4 to 6 run outing, and hopefully pitching for Baltimore here, Grayson Rodriguez can kind of temper any sort of Texas offense, because Grayson Rodriguez, I'm giving Jordan Montgomery credit on the Texas side, right? Grayson Rodriguez also has been pitching fairly well. 1.4 ERA over his last 5, striking out a decent amount, averaging over 6 strikeouts per start here. He did not look great against Texas last time he pitched, but earlier in the year he did have a 5 innings pitched, only 2 earned run game against them, but they kind of shelled him in the middle of May, right when Texas was like hot, dropping a bunch of runs. Grayson Rodriguez got to, and you could say that to say the least. So I do think that he looks to bounce back here. He has been pitching, okay. Like I just said, I wouldn't go out there and say that Montgomery's been pitching worse than him. We just saw the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. This Montgomery pitcher is just looking really good right now. But I'm hoping Baltimore can at least kind of bounce back from yesterday and get the win here. I think that this one gets knotted up 1-1, and I'm really looking for Baltimore's offense to come through. Now, in terms of the total, 7.5, it's way down there, but we've seen this playoff baseball, like it's trending towards unders, and if you can get this at 8, which I believe I saw 8 over on FanDuel still, I like the under. Even if Montgomery goes out there and still shoves and Baltimore can only score, 3 to 4 runs, I think we have a really strong chance of seeing a 3-2, 3-1, 4-2, that type of a game. Even a 4-3 game would cash the under 7.5, but I like it more at 8. So slight lean towards the under if you can get it at 8, but keep an eye on the pinned comment to see what we ultimately end up rolling with. Let's see if Baltimore can bounce back, because it's tough. I've talked about it all year long. I love this Texas team. I really do. They made so much money for us during the year, but now I'm looking at this Baltimore team. I think this Baltimore team's better, and Texas is doing like what my fandom would want. I'm not a Texas fan. I just really like that team, so it's tough to watch them and bet against them and go out there and do the job yesterday. But I do think Baltimore gets the job done today. Betting with this, not this, all right? The big old gut. Let's move on to the next game here. Before we do jump into the game, guys, if you do want to pick up Fade Me merch, that link will be in the pinned comment as well. It really supports what I'm doing here. I get so pumped every time I see an order come through. It's fademe.store if you do want to check it out. Again, that link in the pinned comment. Go pick up some merch. If you find yourself watching every single day and seeing the cool shirts that I'm wearing, you're like, I haven't worn it yet, go ahead, and pick up some merch. We great prices for really good quality. This stuff withstands washes and dries, all that type of stuff. And we have a bunch of new hoodies out for the fall weather as well. So go check it out, fademe.store. But this game right here, we have Houston taking on Minnesota. Houston winning yesterday 6-4. Verlander got the job done. They have Framber Valdez on the mound today, going up against Pablo Lopez. Both these pitchers had really strong sort of bursts during the year and streaks. Right now in their last three here, Pablo Lopez 3.94 ERA with a 1.19 WHIP, and then we're looking at Framber Valdez with a 4.96 in his last three and a 1.47 WHIP. I like the price of Minnesota today, plus 120. I do think that they have a strong chance of knotting this one up. I don't necessarily love their offense. I say that all the time, but I am going to go ahead and trust them against a lefty here. In their last 10 against lefties, they're batting .350 with an on-base percentage of .435, averaging 8.7 runs per 9. So it seems like a match made in heaven here. They have Pablo Lopez going, who is a trustworthy pitcher, right? Going up against a lefty in which they crush, and they're plus 120 over on BetMGM. I'm loving the price there. I think it's worth considering taking the flyer on the away team here. The only thing that kind of worries me is the fact that we are looking at a Minnesota team that just is not as good on the road as they were at home throughout the year, especially offensively. So there's that. But again, I think we have to trust the fact that they bat lefties better than they do righties. And in their last 10, they're absolutely crushing lefties. Again, just for the people back home, if you missed it, .350 average, 8.7 runs per 9, .435 on base percentage. Okay. So I'll take that all day long. Give me Minnesota on the money line. Total sitting at 8. My initial gut reaction was to go towards the under, but I think I gotta fade that one there because we did see 6-4 yesterday. Even if these pitchers go out there and pitch well, like I said, they're still sitting right around that 3.5 to 4 ERA in their last few starts here. So, and I just talked about Minnesota's offense. I think Houston's going to give you 4 minimum, meaning if I like Minnesota to win this game, I think we're looking at like a 5-4, maybe 6-4 like yesterday type of a spot here. So I'll go ahead and lean towards the over. Whether or not that makes it into the final plays, that's still kind of up in the air. I'd say right now Minnesota is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a full unit play or a half unit, but I do like Minnesota to make it into the final plays. But I'll lean towards the over until we see a really low scoring game from these two as well. They've hit the over in 3 of their last 4 games playing against one another. And on the season, they cashed a bunch of overs here against one another. I think they played 7 times and about 4 of those hit the over. So I feel good about that spot here. And yeah, guys, 2 games on the slate. That's going to wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully we have a little bit better of a night than we did last night, because that we just didn't see the board, I guess. Seemed like we had some square plays there, but you know what? It's on me. It's on me. But we better tonight, guys. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for the final plays. We don't need to force anything. You guys should know that there's only 2 games. You don't even need a minimum of 2 bets, right? Like I do have a couple spots that I like here, so we might throw out, 1 per game like we did yesterday, but you don't need to force anything. It's playoff baseball. Take your time. Be consistent. We don't want to piss away a really good season that we had, right? Up over 30 units. Now we just dropped a couple, in this round of the playoffs. Yikes. But all right, guys, we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.